Hi. What I'd like to share with you today is not some of my karate training, which we always do in the dojo, but as I'd like to share a little story. And I'd like to tell you the secret of Shotokan Karate. I've been training over 41 years under two 10th dans, Kanazawa and Mikio Ihara, and I've learnt an awful lot from the Japanese on how to train in karate. And I'd like to reveal these secrets here with you today. Now, this is going to take probably about, I'm in no rush to tell you this, it's going to take about 10 minutes. Some people are just going to try and fast forward, in which case you probably won't, you'll miss it. Some people won't be bothered to listen, not worried. Okay, the main thing to think about is that, and the way that I look at it, is that if you can't be bothered to listen, then, or you don't have the patience to spend 10 minutes, then you don't really want to learn anyway. For those students that do get all the way through it, the message will be somewhere in this talk that I'm giving now. So you may have to go through it a few times to really hear what the message is. And I'm going to tell this message on the secrets of karate through a series of stories. I'm going to go back to 1979 when I began karate in Dagenham in Essex with Sensei Whitcher. He'd just come back from training in Japan and his training was ferocious. Sessions were 2 hours, all of Kion, up and down, and it was incredible, very, very physical. After I'd been training a couple of weeks, I went to Sensei and I says, Sensei, I've got a question. And he says, and I have an answer. I said, but I haven't told you my question. So he says, I have the answer. So I thought, well, this could be interesting. I says, well, what's the answer? He goes, train harder. I said, that wasn't my question. He says, doesn't matter, train harder. So I walked away and thought, really didn't understand. A while later, several months later, I stopped him again. I says, Sensei, you gave me an answer to a question which wasn't the answer to my question. And he says, questions are for senior students, serious students. I went, well, I thought I was a serious student. He goes, no, when you're a black belt, you're a serious student, nothing else. Until then, train harder. So I did. And I trained 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for many, many years. Until Sensei, unfortunately in 1990, he passed away. And then I began training with Kanazawa, 10th dan, on a regular basis. And I was in a position, after a while, to have Sensei Kanazawa stay in my home on several occasions. And there's times after we'd finished training, every day, that is, we'd get back to the house, and Sensei would always say, whiskey, Mr. Moulds, let's have a whiskey. Okay, Sensei, so we'd pour some drinks and we'd talk karate for hours and hours. And I remember this question with Sensei Whitcher. So I says, Kanazawa Sensei, I says, can you ask me a question? He says, I says, what's the secret to karate? He says, train harder. And I'm thinking, wow, that's exactly what Sensei Whitcher says. I says, but we do train hard. And he says, the secret is to train harder. That is it. Now, beginners don't understand this. They want to learn new techniques all the time. I've done that. When can I go to the next grade? When can I do this? There's no new techniques. Okay? What you learn in your first month of karate is will define you as you go through the grades. If you're trying to learn too much, and in the first day you've learned Ganambarai, and next day Agyuki, Gakuzuki, now you want to learn Agyuki and Gakuzuki, I can guarantee you will never make it to a high grade in Shotokan Karate. You've got to come right back down, look at what you taught. Every move begins in 3 parts. In Japan, in the early days, in the 60s, Sensei Whitcher told me stories. You go in for one lesson, and in that lesson you'd learn how to move your feet in and out. They'd teach you once. Then they'd just drill you up and down until you learn. If you didn't get it right, the next lesson you did exactly the same thing. And again, and again, and again, till either you quit or you got it. When you got it, they'd then add the next bit. They'd add the arms on and the teacher ones, and then up and down, up and down, up and down until you got it. This is learning karate the correct way. It's not for Q grades to ask questions. One of the worst things you can ever do is to say to your sensei, when am I grading? It's not your decision when to grade. It's when you're ready, you'll be put in for an exam. Okay, now you can with the online exams, you can take them within a couple of months. But grades don't mean anything without the power that you've got in your body developed through karate. Do not rush. There's no rush. You've got a whole lifetime to learn. You cannot learn the higher stuff if you don't know the most basic stuff. I had a black belt 4th dan recently joined my online karate. He took the first exam, wanted to rush through because he says he hadn't trained for a long time. He failed the 9th Q exam. He had no idea of hips, the golden rules of movement. He'd learnt the wrong way. And there's plenty of people out there that are learning the wrong way. If you want to learn the right way, you want to learn the secret of karate, take your time. You don't need to ask questions, just train. The harder you train, the more questions will open and be answered. The answers are in your training. Train hard constantly on small movements all the time, and again and again and again. If you have to repeat a technique tens of thousands of times, that's what you need to do. Then the answers will become apparent. When you train like that, all the answers become apparent. You don't need to ask questions. All the answers are within your training. So what I'm saying is, and especially to my online students, don't try to learn too much. Learn the basics. If you can do a video of yourself stepping forward, oizuki, and backwards gedambarai, breaking it into 3 counts, feet together, half step, full step, from the front and videoed from the side, each move slow, each count fast, break into then 2 moves, and then at speed. I can then look at you from there and I'll give a pretty good judge of how long you should be before you think of putting in for your grading exam. If you can't do gedambarai and oizuki, I know that you can't do taikoku, the first kata, because it consists of those 2 moves. If you can't do that, I know you can't do gohon komite. So there's no chance of you passing an exam. If you do the gedambarai and the oizuki correct, then your agyuki and sotoki will automatically follow. It's a used jigsaw karate. It starts with 1 piece at a time. You can't do the whole jigsaw in 1 day, in 1 month or 1 year. Imagine if cleaning your teeth was part of karate. You wouldn't say, well, I've cleaned my teeth today. Is there another different way of cleaning them tomorrow? No, just clean them. Just clean them. In karate, just train. Just train, just train. Don't worry about anything. The more you train, I'll be able to see you develop. See your strength, see your hips working. And then you'll slowly move through the grades. If you're looking for somewhere easy to grade, you're on the wrong course and in the wrong club. It's going to be lovely to meet you all one day. Maybe when you come over to the UK, our Hombo Dojo. And it'd be great, and hopefully I'll get to train with you in person. If not, I'll train with you online. Okay, take your time. Now you know the secret. Train harder. Bye.